Oh.
Oh. Very good Moscow Mule.
Yes, definitely. Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to Make My Food Awesome. I'm Mark Allen Branch, your guide to good food, and this is Tricia Morrissey, the princess of planting.
Thank you for such an introduction.
I worked on that one too.
I know, you're getting kind of good at that.
I'm just waiting for you to pick one that I can actually call you that you'll actually enjoy.
I am a shy person by nature. I am.
Anyways, if you say so. So, guess what? Today is a cold day outside. It's been cold outside.
It's very cold.
It's been raining a little bit.
It's been a moody
snowing.
Weather day. Sunny.
So yeah, but
Blowing,
inside
snowing.
we've been, Tricia's had to do some of her work as a teacher, and then I've been doing a lot of cooking for the day, and created I wanted to do something Italian. So
always good.
I was like, gnocchi. I will make gnocchi. I know that at the restaurant at the Milford House, we do a gnocchi dish there sometimes, and I was like, well, theirs uses egg. So I wanted to create a dish that was vegan. So I used, just 4 basic ingredients for it.
What
Simple.
were they?
Well, we'll find that out when I show everyone how it's done. But did you know that gnocchi's main ingredient is a potato?
I do now.
You knew that because we already talked about it. But anyways, so I know that gnocchi has some really good health benefits, which is good for me and for you.
Right.
I know it's good for my heart and my cholesterol. But what else? I mean, what all details can you give us from your science?
Well, I'm guessing the main ingredient, like you said, in gnocchi is potatoes.
Correct.
So if you were to take, say, an average medium-sized potato, they have about 3.8 grams of fiber in them. And we now know that dietary fiber, helps to reduce the cholesterol levels in your blood. As well as potatoes carry vitamin C and B and a bunch of other nutrients that are really important for the body. And it is also an antioxidant. And a couple episodes ago, we talked about what that was. Now, fun fact about it, purple potatoes actually have 3 to 4 times more antioxidants than a normal white or yellow, even red potato. And potatoes are naturally gluten-free. So if you're on a non-gluten diet, potatoes are a great vegetable to work into your diet. So
That's awesome.
And one more fact. Potatoes are actually one of the most filling vegetables out there, which we kind of already knew that just from the feel you have after you eat a lot of potatoes.
Oh yeah.
But it's very satisfying to your stomach.
It's kind of like when I eat cauliflower too. I'm bringing up cauliflower again when I feel full. But yeah, I know what you mean about potatoes making you feel full. I love them. I love fries. I know that I don't.
We bake our fries though.
Exactly. We don't do a lot
I do like
of
a fry though.
A fry, yeah.
But we try not to fry a lot because it adds fat.
Exactly.
Calories.
And I know. So and Hannah, of course, you'll see her wandering around through the episode. She's feeling kind of like Milo. She needs to be part of it.
Yeah, she's feeling a little neglected. She has to be in the camera.
Exactly. So I know that I like with fries. I like a good fry, but as long as it's not really processed.
Right,
because
you can make them at home.
Exactly. I like
really easy.
Mashed potatoes. A good mashed potato. In fact, I like a good mashed potato with some sweet potato in it.
Or roasted potatoes are good with other vegetables.
And you make baked potatoes a lot for us.
Oh, we love baked potatoes.
They are very, very
I
good.
think maybe we should donate a whole episode to types of potatoes.
We could do that. Different.
Right.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
For today with the gnocchi, gnocchi is an Italian pasta. And there's different variations you can use for it. You can use bread in it. There's some wheat flour you can use in it. But I used 4 ingredients for ours today, and then I wanted to make a sauce to go along with it, so I used tomatoes.
That sounds
I had
very yummy.
I had a can of tomatoes, and this is all stuff that we had in our pantry. And I know that with everything that's going on right now, with the quarantine, it's good to be able to go to your pantry, grab the stuff out, throw it together, and enjoy it.
Right, and as we know that potatoes, as long as you don't buy them with a rotten one in the bag, they keep really well in a cool, dry place. So it could be your pantry, it could be if you have basement space, or just a cool room in the house that you can keep them in.
You know what I
they
think?
They keep really well.
I think you should show everyone on one of the episodes. You should show them how you use a potato if it's going bad to grow more potatoes.
We could do that.
And I think that would be fun. So
it's really cheap and easy to do. You don't need a whole lot to do it.
So we'll save it for that episode.
Yes, we will.
But
Stay
what
tuned.
I want to do is I want to show everyone how I made the gnocchi.
I think that would be fun. And it sounds kind of like intimidating, but it really isn't. The recipe is very simple. I mean, it does take some time to do, but so worth your time to do.
And also, just so you know, with the Moscow Mules, we also do have quarantine cocktails. You can check those out as well. And we show how to make a Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
But so here we go. I'm going to show you exactly how we make the gnocchi and the special sauce that goes with it.
Yeah. Yay.
First of all, you're going to select a nice sheet pan and line that with foil. Make sure it's nice and secure. At that point, you're going to put your potatoes on top. Space them out appropriately. You're going to set your oven to 350 degrees. And when it has been preheated, you're going to place your potatoes inside the oven. Set your timer for 1 hour. And when your potatoes are done, you're going to want to make sure that they are nice and tender. At that time, remove them from the oven and set them to cool for about 15 minutes. After they have cooled, you're going to want to start to peel off the peels on them. Make sure you set the skins aside. You can use those for chips or discard them. And once you have peeled them completely, set them aside and continue through the rest of them. At that point, place your peeled potatoes into a bowl and begin to use a masher to mash them. You can use a fork at that point to make a finer mash on them. Once you are done, place them all into a large bowl. At which point you will put 1/4 teaspoon of no salt into them, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and 2.5 cups of flour. Now the flour, it's going to depend on how much you need. You could use a little bit more if need be. Using your hand, you're going to want to fold everything together into a nice ball. I've added some more extra virgin olive oil to help moisten up the dough and form it into a ball. Once I have a nice ball, I'm going to place it back into my pan and cover it and set it aside. Afterwards, I remove a small portion and break down about a teaspoon each of the potato mixture, roll it into a ball, and then using the back of a fork, I'm going to roll it into my gnocchis. Continue with the rest of the dough. You can set some of the dough aside and freeze it for later, or place it into the refrigerator. Afterwards, go ahead and put some no salt into a pan of boiling water. Stir to bring it all together, and then place in your gnocchi. Your gnocchi will cook for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then when it begins to float on the top, let it cook for about another minute, and then remove them with a wired strainer. Place a pot on the stove at a medium heat. Put a little small pat of butter, vegan butter that is. And then you're going to place your gnocchi in there and get them a nice brown. You want them a good and golden. Give them a nice little toss. Let them saute in the butter to impart the delicious taste. Then you're going to want to take some no salt added diced tomatoes, no salt, oregano, garlic powder, and pepper, and this is going to create your sauce. You're going to need a half an onion also. So go ahead and at this moment cut up your red onion. You just need a loose cut on it. Chop it together. Doesn't have to be perfect. Once everything's chopped, go ahead and place it in a bowl and set it aside. Go ahead and open your no salt added diced tomatoes. And this is going to go directly into your pan with your onions once you get ready to cook them. Set a nice pan onto the stove, light it at medium heat, put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in, and then place in your onions. You can hear that sizzle going, and that smell is so odoriferous. Stir it together, and then at that point add in your diced tomatoes and stir to combine. Put in 1/2 teaspoon of no salt and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of oregano. Now, I love oregano, so you never know, you could add more in. Add in pepper for taste. Stir to combine. Smells delicious to me. Taste. And then of course I have to add in more oregano because I know it needs a little bit more of that Italian seasoning. Stir to combine. It's a beautiful, beautiful dish. Go ahead and add that into your gnocchi, which is sauteing in your pan. and then toss to combine. And that's how I made the gnocchi and the sauce to go along with it.
Yes, and I cannot wait to try it.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be... Oh, I'm sure it tastes pretty good because I kind of snuck a little taste.
Not
I have
fair.
to taste... You have to taste your food as you cook.
I'll let that one slide.
Okay.
In fact, I was thinking about another potato recipe that I want Mark to try. It's a gnocchi, and I was telling him years ago I was in Cincinnati, and I stopped by a particular restaurant, and they had them there, and I had never tried them, so I ordered them, and they were like the most delicious potato gnocchis I've ever had. And then for years after that, every restaurant that would advertise it on their menu, I would try it, and they just didn't live up to it. So my challenge to him is to make a really good one, like I had in Cincinnati. So
I can do my best to try.
oh, I'm sure you will. You make our food awesome.
So what I'm gonna do real quick
He's the cook.
is I'm gonna get heat it back up a little bit. So I do have it back here on the pan, and I do have the sauce. You know, as you guys saw, I put most of the sauce in here, but we can save that for later. And with some of the dough that I actually bagged up, you can freeze that if you want to freeze that. You can make it into little patties if you want. You can actually just fry it up straight up like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different forms you can put into for later use. And like if you make it will stretch over many meals. So
Yes.
it's kind of nice. You can prepare it ahead of time, use what you want the day of, and then freeze the rest for later. All
I'll
right.
set these aside.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. All right, so I got a plate. There we go. And I'm going to bring this over. And as you can hear it, get nice and frying and sizzly. Stir it a little bit, heat it through. And I'm going to add that right into. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
Let me get us some.
get us a couple forks. Now, what else I need to do before we dig in is I like to layer my flavors.
He does. That's what he does.
So I have some cilantro and
Basil.
basil.
My favorite.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bunch those up and give that a nice quick chop to go along with the oregano that's already in there.
Now, is there any rule about what fresh herb you can or cannot put on top of your
You
gnocchi?
can put whatever you want on there.
Okay.
It's
And
whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your taste. Like, what do you like?
Exactly.
What don't you like?
So I'm going to go ahead and
Oh, that's very pretty.
thank you. So I've got that on there, my dear.
Hold on. Look at how pretty that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
I was getting a fork for you, but
Oh, okay,
thanks.
there we go.
Thanks. So, it's not super duper hot. It's not spicy, but it's got the Italian spices in there.
Good job.
And
Very good.
I did add in a little bit of lemon juice at the end, just to impart a little bit more flavor in there.
Lemon juice and what?
Into the whole dish. So I put some
okay.
in the sauce, and then I put more into the dish.
Yeah, you can taste it.
Oh yeah. So these the gnocchi they're light. They're fluffy.
Yeah, they are fluffy. It's hard to tell by just looking at them. You would have to actually eat one.
Tastes really, really, really good. And I think that that you could do some different variations on this, kind of like when we did the the cauliflower wings, you could probably even turn this into a dish that has some barbecue sauce in it. You could put some sriracha in it. You could sriracha.
No ghost peppers.
No ghost peppers.
No hot
for
pepper.
her.
I mean, if you like really spicy things, you could do it however you wanted to. But yeah, could you put nutritional yeast on this too to add a
Yes,
little bit of a
you
cheesy
could.
flavor?
You could put nutritional yeast, or one of my favorite cheeses. I love nutritional yeast, and if you guys have never had it, we've talked about it before. Nutritional yeast basically is dead yeast, and it imparts almost a cheesy flavor.
It usually comes in a flake form.
Yes.
And you can grind it small into more of a powder form if you want.
But Tricia bought, oh gosh, last year sometime she bought a bag of Daiya, D-A-I-Y-A. And
It's a brand name.
and I just wanted to try it. In fact, hold on one second.
Yeah, they make vegan cheese products. And when we make our homemade pizzas or anything that calls for shredded cheese,
Daiya.
We've tried 3 of their flavors. Cheddar, mozzarella, and what was the other one? White cheddar maybe? But that's what it looks like. It looks just like shredded cheese, and it tastes like it, and it melts like it too. Because
I love it.
You know, we've tried different brands, and I'm like, okay, if we're gonna make a homemade pizza, we want it to be as close as we can, and it's really good. And it's a nice product. It does what it says it does.
That was a good idea of adding that in. It really gives a good cheesy flavor to it. It is, and you can find Daiya has different products out there other than just cheese. They have other vegan items that you can purchase, but this is, I mean, I'll put this on if I'm having a vegan burger. I'll put it on anything and everything.
What's kind of cool here, it says right over here on this little red spot, is made with chickpeas. So
And we know
that's where you're getting protein from.
we love chickpeas.
Oh yeah, lots of really great things. Chickpeas are in. So
You can even see this melting a little bit.
I know, and like I said, it melts really well.
So one more bite, honey?
Oh, one more. My goodness.
I don't want to twist your arm or anything like
Oh
that.
yeah, twist my arm.
Get
Want
some
to get a little
gnocchi,
bit of everything in there.
some
Okay.
cheesy.
Good job.
Thank you. How about our cocktails?
Yes.
We'll
To
celebrate a
wash
little bit.
down our gnocchi.
So if you guys haven't done so already, please do us a favor. Pop down to the subscribe button, hit subscribe, and share with your friends and family on all your social media outlets. And you know, get us as many likes as you can and as many subscriptions. We greatly appreciate it. And I guess we're gonna go finish this off, and we will talk to you guys soon.
All right. We'll see ya. Bye, guys.
Stay tuned for Make My Food Awesome. See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.